Did you see that, Commander? The humans are. Attaching their faces together again, Officer Vlek whispered, his eyes wide with disbelief. Commander Zorak peered through the observation window, his antennae twitching in confusion. Indeed, Vlek. It appears they call this kissing a peculiar ritual, considering they don't seem to be consuming anything. Dr. Max Harper, who had been eavesdropping nearby, chuckled and stepped forward. Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. Wait till you learn why we do it. Zorak turned, his face a mask of perplexity and intrigue. And why, Dr. Harper, do humans engage in such? Max grinned, leaning in conspiratorially. For pleasure, Commander. Pure, unadulterated pleasure. The alien spaceship Elysium descended gracefully, its metallic hull gleaming under the Earth's sun. Dr. Max Harper stood among the welcoming committee, his heart pounding with excitement. He had been chosen to guide the Vortai research team, an advanced species renowned for their logic and technology. Today marked the beginning of an unprecedented cultural exchange. As the ramp extended, the Vortai delegation emerged. Leading them was Commander Zorak, his tall, slender figure exuding authority. His blue skin and shimmering antennae contrasted sharply with the humans' more muted tones. Max stepped forward, his hand outstretched in a gesture of goodwill. "Welcome to Earth, Commander Zorak," Max greeted warmly. "I'm Dr. Max Harper, your liaison." Zorak's eyes, a deep shade of violet, studied Max with curiosity. "Thank you, Dr. Harper. We are eager to learn about your species." The group moved toward the city, their first stop on the tour. Max made light-hearted remarks about human inventions, pointing out landmarks with a mix of pride and humor. The Vortai took notes, their expressions a blend of fascination and confusion. Their walk led them to a bustling park, where children played and couples strolled hand in hand. It was here that the first cultural hiccup occurred. Officer Vlek, one of the Vortai researchers, pointed toward a couple sharing a kiss. "Commander, they are attaching their faces together," Vlek observed, his voice tinged with shock. Max chuckled, stepping in to explain. "That, Officer Vlek, is called kissing. It's a way humans express affection." Zorak's antennae twitched with curiosity. "Affection, you say? For what purpose?" Max smiled, enjoying the moment. "For pleasure and emotional bonding. It's a fundamental part of our relationships." The Vortai exchanged bewildered glances. To them, such behavior seemed illogical. They documented the event meticulously, their datapads capturing every detail. As they continued their tour, the Vortai encountered more examples of human affection. A mother hugging her child, friends laughing together, and elderly couples walking arm in arm. Each instance prompted more questions and more explanations from Max, who relished the opportunity to share his culture's nuances. "Humans are a very emotional species," Max explained, as they observed a family picnic. "Our connections are deep and varied, often expressed through physical touch and shared experiences." Zorak's expression remained impassive, but his curiosity was evident. "This is quite different from our practices. We do not engage in physical bonding for emotional purposes." Max nodded. "That's what makes this exchange so fascinating. We have much to learn from each other." The tour concluded at a cultural center, where the Vortai were introduced to various forms of human art and music. Max noticed Zorak's antennae vibrating subtly as he listened to a classical symphony, a sign of interest among the Vortai. "Music, too, is a form of emotional expression," Max noted. "It can convey everything from joy to sorrow." Zorak turned to Max, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. "Your species is indeed intriguing, Dr. Harper. We have much to study." As the day ended, Max felt a sense of accomplishment. The Vortai's initial confusion was giving way to curiosity and, perhaps, understanding. He looked forward to the days ahead, confident that this mission would foster a deeper connection between their species. "Tomorrow," Max said, shaking Zorak's hand. "We'll delve deeper into human culture. Prepare for more surprises." Zorak nodded, his violet eyes gleaming with anticipation. "We are ready, Dr. Harper." The following morning, the Vortai team assembled in their observation room aboard the Elysium. Screens displayed live feeds from various locations around the city, capturing everyday human interactions. Commander Zorak and his team watched intently, their expressions a blend of curiosity and confusion. Dr. Max Harper joined them, armed with a fresh cup of coffee and a ready smile. "Morning, everyone. Ready to dive deeper into human behavior?" Zorak nodded. "Indeed, Dr. Harper. We have many questions." Max took a seat, gesturing toward the screens. "Fire away." Officer Vlek pointed to a feed showing a group of teenagers playfully shoving each other. "What is the purpose of this physical contact? Is it a form of combat training?" Max chuckled. "No, that's just how young humans bond. It's called horsing around. It's a way to have fun and build friendships." Vlek tilted his head. "Fascinating. It appears quite chaotic." "Controlled chaos," Max corrected. "But yes, it can look that way." Another feed caught their attention, a couple holding hands while walking. Zorak's antennae twitched. "This hand-holding seems to be a recurring theme. Explain its significance." "It's a simple but powerful gesture of connection and affection," Max explained. "It provides comfort and strengthens emotional bonds." The Vortai documented every word, their datapads clicking softly. Max noticed the intensity of their focus and decided to introduce some humor. "You should see what happens at weddings," he said with a grin. "That's where human emotions really run high." Zorak's eyes narrowed slightly. "Weddings?" "Yes, a ceremony where two people commit to spending their lives together. It's a major event, full of traditions and emotions." The mention of weddings intrigued the Vortai. They began reviewing footage of various ceremonies, from elaborate celebrations to simple courthouse unions. Their reactions ranged from bemusement to outright confusion, especially during the more exuberant moments, like the first dance or the throwing of the bouquet. Max enjoyed their reactions, finding their bewilderment endearing. Weddings are a mix of cultural tradition and personal expression. Each one is unique. As the day progressed, the Vortai encountered more examples of human relationships: parents comforting children, friends sharing secrets, colleagues celebrating successes. Each instance prompted a series of questions and detailed explanations from Max. "Human interactions are incredibly varied," Max explained as they watched a family dinner scene. "We express care, love, and support in countless ways." Vlek looked thoughtful. "This emotional complexity is quite different from our experiences. We do not display such emotions publicly." Max nodded. "That's what makes this exchange valuable. We can learn from each other's strengths." Later, they observed a group of people dancing at a festival. The Vortai were particularly intrigued by the spontaneous joy and rhythm displayed. Zorak leaned closer to the screen, his antennae vibrating slightly. "Is this also an expression of affection?" he asked. "Not exactly," Max replied. "Dancing is a way to celebrate and connect with others. It's about joy and freedom." Zorak seemed to ponder this. "It is unexpectedly fascinating." Max smiled. "Human life is full of surprises. The more you observe, the more you'll understand." As the day drew to a close, the Vortai had accumulated vast amounts of data, each piece adding to their growing understanding of human culture. Max felt a sense of pride in his species' complexity and warmth, even as he anticipated more humorous misunderstandings. "Tomorrow," Max said, "we'll explore the deeper emotional connections humans share. Be prepared for even more surprises." Zorak nodded, a hint of a smile on his lips. "We look forward to it, Dr. Harper." The Vortai's interest in human rituals culminated in their decision to host a cultural observation event. Commander Zorak invited a diverse group of humans to showcase their traditions aboard the Elysium. Dr. Max Harper eagerly assisted, confident that the event would bridge the gap between their species. The grand hall of the Elysium buzzed with activity. Humans mingled with Vortai, sharing stories and laughter. Tables were laden with an array of foods, and the atmosphere was one of excitement and curiosity. Max, sensing the importance of the moment, took the stage. Welcome, everyone. Tonight, we celebrate our shared journey of discovery. Let's enjoy each other's company and learn from one another. The evening started smoothly, with humans demonstrating various customs. A traditional dance troupe performed, drawing fascinated glances from the Vortai. Max noticed Zorak's antennae twitching in interest. "This is a traditional dance from our culture," Max explained. "It symbolizes unity and joy." Zorak nodded. "It is visually captivating." As the evening progressed, a human couple began dancing to a slower, romantic tune. They moved closely, swaying to the rhythm. The Vortai observers, taking detailed notes, grew visibly puzzled. Officer Vlek leaned over to Zorak and whispered, "Commander, is this another form of their mating ritual?" Max, overhearing, couldn't suppress a chuckle. "Not quite, Vlek. This is a slow dance, a romantic gesture often shared between couples. It's about emotional connection, not mating." Zorak's brow furrowed. "It seems intimate. How does this contribute to your societal cohesion?" Max smiled. "It's part of how we bond, how we express love and affection. It strengthens relationships and builds community." As the couple continued dancing, the Vortai's confusion turned into a series of notes and rapid exchanges. The scene remained calm until an unexpected moment changed the mood. The couple shared a kiss, an affectionate display that the Vortai once again misinterpreted. Zorak stood abruptly, his face a mix of curiosity and alarm. "Dr. Harper, is this public mating behavior common?" "It appears rather public and spontaneous." Max realized the potential for a diplomatic misstep. "No, Commander, this is not mating behavior. It's a kiss, a way humans show affection and deepen emotional bonds. It's quite normal in our culture." Zorak's eyes narrowed as he processed this information. The room grew tense, the humans sensing the Vortai's discomfort. Max knew he needed to diffuse the situation with both humor and clarity. "Think of it as a greeting, but more intimate. Like how you might acknowledge a close friend or family member. It's all part of our emotional landscape." The tension began to ease as the Vortai considered this new perspective. The music changed to a more upbeat tempo, and a group of children started an impromptu dance, their carefree movements lightening the atmosphere. Vlek, observing the children's joyous dance, remarked, "This is quite different from the formal rituals we have seen. Is this spontaneous display a form of bonding as well?" Max nodded, grateful for the shift in mood. "Exactly. Children, in particular, express their joy and build friendships through play and dance. It's a fundamental part of growing up." Zorak, watching the children with a softened expression, seemed to grasp the concept. "Your species places a significant emphasis on emotional connections. It is both fascinating and perplexing." Max seized the opportunity to deepen their understanding. Emotional connections are at the heart of our society. They drive our actions, our creativity, and our resilience. They may seem illogical, but they are powerful. As the evening continued, the Vortai and humans engaged in more discussions, sharing their cultural practices and philosophies. The initial confusion and tension gave way to genuine curiosity and mutual respect. By the end of the night, Zorak approached Max with a thoughtful expression. "Dr. Harper, this evening has been enlightening. Your people's emotional depth is something we are beginning to appreciate, even if it is vastly different from our own experiences." Max smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "I'm glad to hear that, Commander. Understanding each other is the first step toward true collaboration. As the guest departed and the hall quieted, Max reflected on the evening's events. Despite the initial misunderstandings, the cultural exchange had succeeded in building a bridge of understanding and respect. The journey was far from over, but tonight had been a significant step forward. The following day, Dr. Max Harper was determined to deepen the Vortai's understanding of human emotions. He had arranged a series of activities designed to evoke emotional responses, believing that experiencing these feelings firsthand would bridge their cultural divide. Max welcomed the Vortai team at a local theater where a romantic comedy was scheduled. Today, we're exploring human emotions through entertainment. This film will show you how humor and love are intertwined in our culture. The Vortai, including Commander Zorak, settled into their seats, their datapads ready. As the movie began, the theater filled with laughter. Max watched Zorak's face closely, noting the subtle shifts in his expression as the story unfolded. Zorak leaned over to Max, whispering, "The character's actions seem illogical, yet the audience finds it amusing. Why is that?" Max grinned. Humor often comes from unexpected situations and exaggerated emotions. It's a way for us to deal with life's absurdities and connect with each other. As the movie reached its climax, a heartfelt confession of love, Max saw something remarkable. Zorak's normally impassive face showed signs of understanding. His antennae, usually rigid, relaxed slightly. After the film, Max led the Vortai to a nearby cafe, where a social gathering was taking place. People were chatting, laughing, and sharing stories. The Vortai observed with keen interest. Max introduced Zorak to a group of friends who were celebrating a birthday. "Commander, this is a perfect example of how we celebrate and build connections." One of the friends, a woman named Sarah, offered Zorak a piece of cake. "Try this, Commander. It's tradition to share food during celebrations." Zorak accepted the cake hesitantly, taking a small bite. His eyes widened slightly. "This sweetness, it is quite pleasant." Max laughed. Food is a big part of our social rituals. It brings people together and enhances our experiences. The Vortai continued to engage with the humans, participating in games and conversations. Officer Vlek found himself in a lively debate about sports, while Zorak engaged in a deep discussion about philosophy with an elderly man. Later, as the gathering wound down, Max and Zorak took a quiet walk through a nearby park. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the scene. Families and couples enjoyed the evening, their interactions a testament to human connection. Zorak spoke, his tone thoughtful. "Dr. Harper, today has been illuminating. I see now that emotions, though illogical to us, play a crucial role in your society." Max nodded. "They do. Emotions drive our actions, our creativity, and our resilience. They are what make us human." Zorak stopped, looking directly at Max. "Your species' ability to find joy in the simplest of things is truly remarkable. It is something we can learn from." Max smiled. "And we can learn from your logical approach and advanced technology. That's the beauty of this exchange." As they returned to the Elysium, the mood was lighter, more relaxed. The Vortai had gained a deeper appreciation for human culture, and Max felt a sense of accomplishment. Zorak extended his hand. "Dr. Harper, this mission has been more than just a study. It has been a journey of mutual understanding." Max shook his hand warmly. "I couldn't agree more, Commander. Here's to continued learning and cooperation." As the Vortai prepared to depart, Max reflected on the profound progress they had made. The journey had started with confusion and misunderstanding, but it ended with respect and friendship. "Safe travels, Commander," Max said as they parted ways. Zorak nodded. "Until we meet again, Dr. Harper."